Well, after a couple of weeks of sub-zero temperatures, as you can see in the background, the ice is starting to really take hold here on the Wenatchee River. Joining me right now from Chelan County Sheriff's Department and Emergency Management, the director of that department, Kent Sisson. Kent, obviously, with an ice storm warning being issued by the National Weather Service, obviously there are some things that people need to be aware of here, especially along the streams and rivers.
Right, there is, Steve. First is always preparedness. We want people to be prepared. We don't know exactly what kind of ice accumulation we're going to see, in Wenatchee, the Upper County, the Western County. It could be significant from what the Weather Service out of Spokane is telling us. I had a phone call yesterday from the Weather Service saying, this definitely could be something that's going to keep people indoors and basically, just be prepared for, maybe 3 days indoors. It's unpredictable at this point. We could lose power. We may not lose power. Streets may be to the point where they're somewhat impassable, at least for a period of time. So, make sure you've got the food supplies, the medication, your car's halfway filled up with gas at least, and that you have everything you need to survive for at least 3 days. And then also, be aware of how essential is it that you go out. Always, weigh those options. Do you really need to go out and travel after this ice storm hits? If we're lucky, it won't be significant, and the crews will be able to stay on top of the roads. But we want people to be prepared.
Obviously, we're also looking for a gradual warming trend too, at least temperatures moderating somewhat from the sub-zero temperatures we've been experiencing. But in terms of the ice on the rivers right now and the chance that we could see some ice jams and flooding, what should people be aware of there? Are there sandbags available for people?
There are sandbags available. How useful those will be, it's kind of up in the air right now. We had a meeting just last week with Public Works and the National Weather Service as far as the Wenatchee River, Mission Creek, Aniat River, any of the tributaries that go into the Wenatchee. There's potential for the ice to break up in the warming trend. And if they clog on a private bridge or any abutment, then we could have significant backup of water, which causes flooding because the water has to find somewhere to go. As we can see here on the Wenatchee River, it's frozen over. And if all this breaks up at once and you get big chunks, you could have some debris obstructions because you also have logs and things that will fall into the debris piles. So we want people who live along these creeks and rivers just to be aware, help us out by, letting us know if you see something, say something to us about, there's a potential for this private bridge to have some significant flooding, and we'll come out, we'll take a look at it, assess it along with Public Works, and we'll figure out the best way to deal with it.
Always a good idea also to stay in contact with the Sheriff's Department Emergency Management on their Facebook page. You can also follow us at ncwlife.com and our Facebook page for critically important information during these emergency situations. Thank you very much, Kent, for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve Hare, NCW Life TV.